Hey there, everybody. New studio, new intro. I'm just here to remind you guys before you listen to today's episode, make sure you follow the show and subscribe wherever you listen. If you watch the show on YouTube, make sure you subscribe there, you comment, you like, and you share. Also, follow my social media, all of it, both Instagrams, my Twitter, follow it all. Your life is to be consumed by my life. Tell everybody that you know about me. Start conversations with the fact that the Smoking Simian is your favorite podcast. Bombard everyone that you know and love with the Smoking Simian. Send them links day in and day out of my show, of the episodes, of my posts. Get thrown out of your house because the only thing that you care about is the Smoking Simian. Do it. Enjoy today's episode. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody, and good morning. Thank you again for tuning into the show. I'm here and ready to go with you. Did you guys know that the new season of Stranger Things is out? Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that there's a television show that adults are watching, that it's about a bunch of kids? Did you guys know that? Because that's the only thing people ever tell me. I say, hey, there's Nancy Pelosi is going to go visit Taiwan. She's the highest ranking official that's gone there since the 90s. And her going there is actually going to raise the question to China that whether or not we're on their side or we wouldn't mind helping Taiwan, having if China were to invade them. And I say that to them and they go, oh really? Wow. Did you see the new episode of Stranger Things? Have you seen the new episode of a television show that is literally children running around? How come that show, and I've never watched an episode. I know it's about children. Maybe they have superpowers. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me what the allure is. I'm already a person that's very skeptical when it comes to media and what people tell me is good. And that, because most of the time people have a very skewed view of what is palatable media, especially for a guy like me. And I've never watched the show, but I do know that most of the cast are children. Most of the cast are children running around doing shit. And why? I just have the question: why is it that show is the one that has got people going? Right? There's no other ask a person, hey, you watch? Did you watch Drake and Josh recently? And even then, they're adults. You watched The Wizards of Waverly Place recently? Have you watched that? How about Boo Bah? Have you watched Boo Bah or the Teletubbies? I'm 35, and I want to know if you've kept up on the latest season of iCarly. Or what's the other one? The one with Jesse. I don't know what the fuck it's called. My point is I'm sure there's other things that happen on the show. But the fact that so many grown people, friends of mine, come up to me and say, have you seen this new season of Stranger Things? Is insane. I work with people. I work with adults. They come up to me and they go, have you seen the new season of Stranger Things? My God. It's so good. It's just so good. What makes it good? Is there something in the back of your head? Is it the fact that people are always chasing after that fleeting feeling of being a child? Is that what it is? Is it when you look in the mirror and you realize you've lost all of your childish charm to stress and money, and there's no more wonder in your eyes? You don't think that anything's possible anymore. You're pretty secure in whatever position you're in. You only have really specific kinds of fun, kinds that are specific to adults, right? You sit down, you have a cup of coffee with a friend, right? You go get lunch, you drink a glass of wine. When was the last time you drove a go-kart or went bowling or went to a movie or something, right? The things you did as a kid. I think that's what it is. I think that the reason why there's people who really do enjoy a show like Stranger Things is that there's an innocence that they miss. They miss being a child and being able to just roam freely. And people want to do that as an adult, right? As an adult, people want to be able to just, I don't know what the word is, They just want to frolic, I guess. How about that? They want to frolic, they want to meander, and they just want to exist just like a child would. And they can't. They have to shove that shit down. And in that process, they shove down all the other stuff that you can do as an adult. You can still believe that anything's possible, or you can still try to follow your dreams or whatever. But what happens is once you get to a certain age, it's usually around the age I'm at now, right? 24, 25, motherfuckers, stop with that shit. They cut it all out. What do you mean you want to go play laser tag? What do you mean you want to go to a roller disco? Fuck that. We're going to a bar. We're going to go to a bar. We're going to go to a bar and make our livers work overtime while we listen to the same songs that they have on the radio. Or if you're lucky, you go to a place that has a cover band. How about a cover band? That's great, right? It's funny because rock and roll and music in general is a lot of them do covers of songs. Like for the first time, I heard Jimi Hendrix, and he has a bunch of covers all along the Watchtower, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Band or whatever the fuck. He's got covers. Even Hey Joe is a cover, and he did it and he ran with them. But the one I heard most recently was Like a Rolling Stone. As you guys know, I don't know if you guys know. I don't know if I've mentioned it on here much, but I've been reading a Jimi Hendrix biography, and it's great, whatever. He's a huge Bob Dylan fan. I'm digressing here. But that's one thing, right? If you're an actual band or an artist and you do a few covers and you throw your own flair on it, right? You make it sound almost completely different, right? The one that comes to mind is Hurt by Johnny Cash. Everyone knows that one, right? I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. And it's very haunting, and it's, and then the chorus comes in, and there's a glimmer of light in those chords in the music, and then it just goes right back, ding, ding. It's very haunting. It's obviously a fairly sad song, and that song isn't his. He made a cover. That song's by 9 Inch Nails, and their version sucks. And they even said that Johnny Cash did it and made it better. That's the one that comes up, but it sounds different. It's a haunting song when 9 Inch Nails does it, but it's even more haunting the way Johnny Cash does it in his voice, and he adds his own flair, and that's one thing, right? That's one thing. But if you're a band that plays, all the music from some other band that actually made it, that actually was able to be creative and create, right, and have a fan base and whatever, that has lasted generations and generations. You are a bassist in a Van Halen cover band. I mean, does it get much lower than that? Does it get much lower than that, guys? I mean, I understand, you're living, you want to be a musician, you want to make a living out of it. I got a cousin who does it. He does all kind of covers. He does AC/DC, he does the whole thing, and that's great. Right, that's great, and it's a cheap form of entertainment, and it's all right for the people doing it. And if you're drunk, realistically, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. You'll get down to whatever. On Friday, it's me and some of the boys went out, and there was a cover band playing. Just Taylor Swift hits back to back to back, and I fucking hate that bitch. But I was hammered, and I was feeling the moment. There were a lot of white women walking around, all different ages, legal, of course. They weren't on the cast of Stranger Things. But there were, it was, cover bands are like, open mic comedians who never get past that point. Right? It's kind of like, you just go to open mics and you don't really try to progress. You just kind of go and you do it, and you're there for the camaraderie. And you might be funny to those guys, and you know that you're funny to those guys, and you don't want to really expand or do any of that shit. It's understandable. I get it. I understand, guys. But I don't even remember how I got on this topic. Oh, going out as an adult, and going and doing adult-like things because it's all been beaten out of you. All of the innocence, all of the childlike wonder has been beaten out of you. It's forced out of you for the most part. That's why people give up on shit. Whatever it was that made them happy as a child, whatever put diamonds in their eyes as a child, they get to a certain age and say, well, I'm not making any money off it, so, whatever. And completely leave it behind. They don't even try to get into the realm, right? Like Evan, who's been on the show a couple times. We were on the wrestling team and we wrestled together, and once we graduated, he ended up being a ref. That's a great way to stay in the community. There's got to be a way to stay in the community of whatever it is you're doing, but there's so many people that don't do that. They would rather, instead of, say you used to paint and you stopped painting, you sold all their shit, but you've heard that there's a group of artists that like to get together and talk about art and whatever else, and you guys sit down, you have coffees and or you drink or whatever, and that sounds like something that could be fun, right? Most people will not even think about that. They would rather come home from work, sit down, fart, eat, drink, maybe fuck, and go to sleep, wake up, and do the same thing. And it's very monotonous. As a child, the world's in your eyes. You can do anything, any day. All right, guys, let's get together. We're going to walk across town, see what happens. And then we'll walk back. And then next thing you know, it's midnight. You guys have bug bites on you. Somebody's having a fire at their house. Something, right? We're riding bikes. It's nighttime. You're not supposed to be out, but you are because your family, you have absentee parents, which is okay, right? I think that's partly a good thing. But my point is I think people are gravitated to a show like Stranger Things because they miss that fleeting feeling of being a kid again. When in actuality, when you were a kid, you were a human. And now you're an adult, and you're still a human. So some of those feelings as a kid, you can't bring the whole thing with you as an adult, as an older human. But there's got to be some, right? You can't wash it all away. There's even, something. You ever see like a 65-year-old man cracking jokes at a party, right? He's cracking jokes. He's laughing. Maybe he's getting up, throwing a football around at a cookout. He's had a few drinks in him, right? That's fine. But he hasn't lost that. Those are the coolest old people, the ones who are fun. They can make fun of things. They swear. I love hearing an old guy swear, right? R.I.P. Bill Russell, by the way. Bill Russell died on Sunday, and, R.I.P. He was a good friend, a great mentor to me. He's the reason why I have 13 rings in the NBA for the Celtics. But I digress. I don't want to take away anything from him. But I remember a video of him and like a couple other big men. It was probably Kevin Garnett and whoever else. And he was, I think he was accepting an award. Bill Russell was. And he got up and in the microphone, he goes, "I'll kick your ass." And the whole crowd, ah. Because that shit's funny. That's funny. That's childlike humor. That's great. But instead, people would rather watch Stranger Things. They'd rather watch Stranger Things and eat Prozacs. I understand. Another thing people like to do to hold on to their childhood, which is ironic, this one, is they will go absolutely bananas for their birthday. Now, this is usually women, right? Usually women do this. But, I'm sure men do it too. I'm sure there's men that go all out and whatever else. Men care a little bit less about their birthdays. But women, on their birthday, they're turning 48. They got a sash. They got a tiara. They're wearing a dress that's too small. They look like a side of tires. Right? They look like a bunch of tires stacked up, and you're looking at it from the side. That's what they look like, and it's wrapped up in some kind of black plastic, right? Because they're wearing a real skinny dress. They can barely walk anymore. The shoes are coming off later. And the feet don't stink like they used to stink when you were 25 and you had white toenails and dudes used to stick their tongue in between them. Now you're 48, you got bunions, your feet look fucked up. Doesn't matter what, it doesn't matter what you dress them up with. Your feet are fucked up, lady. They're fucked up and you're old. Accept it. Accept it. One of the ways, you're turning a year older and your mindset is regressing for that day or for those few days. Oh, Antonio, we're just going out and having a celebration. Come on. I understand. But when you've had as many birthdays as some of these people have had, it's very... fuck. How many times can you go out and do the same thing? I get it if you plan a trip. Or it's been so many years since you've done something on your birthday. Fuck it, let's plan something. Let's do something this year. That's one thing. But people reserve these childlike feelings for certain times. And one of them is their birthday. Like, when does that get old? And, it might sound like I'm contradicting myself here. But my point is that this is something I've said for a little while now. I think people should always do things that made them happy as a kid. Whatever it was that made you happy as a kid, keep fucking doing it. Whatever it is, just keep doing it. Doesn't need to be a professional level. You don't need to make money. That's the thing. People only do things to make money. I can't do something if I ain't getting paid. If I ain't getting paid, shit. You wish I'd show up. You wish I'd show up and try. Fuck that. I ain't getting paid. And I get that too. Time is precious. Time is so precious. We wouldn't want to cut into your getting drunk and punching around your wife time now, would you? We wouldn't want to cut into your neglecting your children time so you can play solitaire on your laptop and smoke cigarettes for 12 hours. We wouldn't want to cut into that time. Wouldn't want to do that. Remember that thing you used to do as a kid that you enjoyed that you abandoned 30 years ago to do this instead? Yeah. Wouldn't want to fuck that time up. I understand. But my point is that when it comes to staying youthful, which is what everybody's after, right? Nobody wants to get old. You want to stay youthful. I would think that it would make most sense to live most of your life youthfully, as much as you can, right? As much as you can. Have dessert first. Right? That's a good way to put it. Have dessert first sometimes. That's what I'm saying. Not wait once a year for you to dress up like a fool and embarrass everyone that you're with and take blurry pictures that you'll post the next day for everyone to look at. Right? Because you think you're making Jennifer jealous because she canceled on you last minute. That's... It's weird. It's weird. That's why I dislike holidays, because it gives people, I guess, carte blanche just for that day. Just for that day, I'm going to act like an animal. It's not healthy, right? And I don't care about what people do. I'm not here to be preachy. And I apologize for doing so if it's coming off that way. But what I'm saying is... the feeling of being a kid is fleeting. Why get rid of it? Why ever get rid of it? We are at our most pure when we're children, and that all goes away. But the mindset of understanding that we're here for who knows how long, right? It's finite. We're definitely not making it out alive. Why be a fucking dud? Why be a dud? Why, when someone says, hey, let's go to an amusement park today, and you got the day off, you say, nah, I don't want to do that. That's a drive. No one has sense of adventure. That's why you sit down and you watch Stranger Things. Let's turn on Stranger Things. They're having a good time. They're having an adventure. I don't remember the last time I went somewhere I haven't been before. Let's turn on Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things. They do such fun, strange things that we can't do because we're adults. We're adults. We're trying to be adults. We got the whole day off. What are we going to do? Sit in the house. We're going to run errands. We're going to do chores around the place. We're going to clean the garage. When was the last time you did something for the first time, motherfuckers? When was that? Anyway, that's my, I guess that's my little piece on maintaining youth as an adult. You know, because I'm at the point where I'm at the age where most people say, all right, enough with this shit. It's time to get a job. It's time to start putting away money for retirement. It's this, it's that. I don't care about any of that, guys. I don't. I have completely... all of those feelings of security and all that shit have completely diminished in my mind. I, right now, am in a deplorable situation as a human being, okay? I don't need to go into details. You guys know I've talked about it on here plenty of times. I can't worry about security. I can't worry about the fact that in less than a year, I will have no insurance. I won't be able to go to a doctor. I won't be able to, if I break my fucking leg, I just have to tie it to the other leg till it straightens the fuck out, and we're good to go. And I'll hobble around a little bit for a little while. I have to understand that. I have to understand that if my car doesn't last me a few more years, then I might not have one. Or I might have to buy just a piece of shit, one that's worse than this one. Right? One that might actually be in worse condition than whatever condition my car is when it burns out and I can't use it anymore. I understand that. That's the position I'm in. I understand that I spend more time and money doing something that I don't get paid off of. I don't get paid a cent off of the things that I enjoy doing and the things that I want to do for a living one day. I understand these things. I can't worry about, I can't worry about rent. I'm hand to mouth, baby. I live day to day, and it makes things easier that way. It very much so does. It makes things easier that way, living day to day. I understand you want to plan. Go ahead, plan. Plan a vacation, plan your retirement, plan all this stuff. But when you live day to day, I think everyone should get to a point where they have to just subsist, which will happen one day. Well, maybe not, it'll be survival, but I digress. Being in the position that I'm in right now, knowing that I have a credit card bill that I can't even conceptualize on how to pay, knowing that I have very little money coming in and a lot going out, okay? Knowing these things, it has almost given me a sense of freedom. It's given me a sense of freedom to know that whatever I'm doing right now either has to work, right? Either has to work or it won't. Either has to work or it will not. And if it doesn't, then we cross that bridge when we reach it, motherfuckers. We cross that bridge when I am in irreparable debt, when I have $0 in the bank, and I've given everything I've absolutely had to this craft of comedy. And once I've gotten to that point, and I can't go past that point, then we'll figure something out. Then we can figure something. And some people will say, well, that's too late. Is it? Is it too late? I don't know if it's too late. I think what's too late is when you've done the exact same task for 50 years, or 40 years. You got out of college and you went for 40 years straight. Retired at 62, you're an accountant. Same firm. Doesn't even need to be the same firm. You just did the same thing. You know? And now you have way less time to do anything. That's still not too late, but it's later than what the fuck I'm saying. Right? It's much later. And it's funny because people think life is a static thing. They think life is a thing that's set in stone, when it's not. It just isn't. If you listen to this show, I ask you to remove that ideology. Please. Understand that it is much more freeing when you know that life is its own being. It's its own constant wavelength of change and obviously ups and downs, but it's its own. I mean, you should be able to do whatever you want, whenever the fuck you want. You know? You should be able to get up and move to another country at any point in time. You should be able to get up, put on a body cam, go grocery shopping, and shoot people in the store. You should be able to go and do that. You should be able to start that business you always wanted. You should be able to ignore the kids that are getting shot in the classroom next to you. You should be able to drive your car at high speeds and crash. You should be able to do drugs at any point in time. You should be able to do all these things at any point. That's the thing, guys. You can do all these things and more at any point in time. Do you understand that? People don't understand that. Is that they say, well, I wish I started earlier. Right? There's that Joe Rogan quote or that Joe Rogan soundbite that everyone puts on their TikToks of them running in the morning or working out, right? And you hear Joe Rogan saying, well, I wish I started earlier. Well, motherfucker, you didn't. So let's get on it now. And that's true. Most people, they look back, they say, man, I wish I started this earlier. I'm never going to get anywhere with this. Yeah, you won't. You probably won't. But why not try? Just do it. Who cares if you get anywhere with it? You know, for me, if I don't get anywhere with this shit that I'm doing, I'll be devastated because it's what I want to do for a living. But for some people, that's not the case. You know, some people just want to do something and try something and whatever. Now, another deplorable group of humans, these people are right there with cover bands. I work at Mohegan Sun, as you guys know. There are pockets of people in that place that are just, it would be much better if they were lit on fire in front of their families and their ashes were fucking, I don't even know. Their ashes were frozen and dropped on the heads of children or something. Frozen into big blocks and used as weapons on somebody or something. That would be much better use of the souls and the people that those ashes made up at one point. It would be a much better use. But this past weekend, they had a Comic-Con at Mohegan Sun called Terrificon. Terrificon. Have you not seen any genitals other than yours? Do you watch cartoons every day? Do you fantasize? Do you live and die behind a piece of media that is absolute fiction? We have an event for you. Do you want to dress up like it's Halloween for 3 days straight? Well, then come on down to Mohegan Sun Terrificon, where everybody that doesn't fuck won't. And they never will. Even though they're all in the same room together. And they could try, but they won't. You know, they won't. Why hasn't there been more mass shootings at Comic-Cons? I was wondering that. The other day when I walked in and I saw all these oddly shaped mongoloids walking around dressed up as cartoon characters. Big, fat motherfuckers with skin-tight Aquaman suits with long hair and goggles on, walking around with fucking webbed feet. Walking around with a woman with purple hair wearing a black spider dress with wings on her back and a tattoo across her chest of a fucking of an anime character. Right? Those two holding hands, walking into a fucking an event where there are thousands of other people like this. Why hasn't anyone snapped at one of these things? You'd think the clientele that goes to these events are some of the same people that would do a mass shooting. You know? It's just like when you go to a buffet. You're going to see fat fucks. You're going to see fat pigs at a buffet. I would think, intuitively, that you would see a school shooter at a Comic-Con. A few of them, right? Possible ones. They just need that little edge, that little extra push, that nudge. You know, they just they need someone to tell them that it's possible. That's all it is. They just need someone to encourage them. And you would think that at one of these massive events, it's just like when I was saying, I think I said it on here, Six Flags, amusement parks. No one shoots up amusement parks. What about that? People are strapped in, right? They're strapped in, they can't move. And they move in droves. There's so many people at these places. Nobody. They pick fucking stupid places to do this. There are top quality places like a Comic-Con. You mean to tell me there's not one person in that Comic-Con that has a gun at their house that every day the thought enters their mind to go out and kill somebody? You mean to tell me that somebody's dad doesn't have a gun in a safe that you know the combination to, that you think, you know what? I might go kill a motherfucker today. And they just put it off. There's got to be hundreds of people at one Comic-Con event that think that. There has to be, right? I'm not crazy. I can't be crazy. You know? And I mean, good God. I mean, I've been working at Mohegan since April. What is it? It's August now. Oh, happy August 1st, by the way, guys. Happy August 1st. But I've been working there since April, and I've seen events on any given day. There's loads and loads of people walking around. I have not seen as many people gather for anything. And I was at a Chris Rock show, guys. I have not seen people gather in the numbers that they did for this event, for an event celebrating cartoon characters, people that don't exist. Again, here's an exhibit of people that take this day to fuck around and dress up like cartoon characters. Now, I should retract that statement because some of those people, some of them, not all of them, but some of them probably still have that childish little, you kind of got to be childish to go to an event like that. So let's scrub. Maybe, you know what? Here's a silver lining. Maybe those people are the ones that everyone else should be following. Maybe those friendless, alienated, consumed people we should take some notes from them. Maybe not the killing people part. But again, here we go. Side note again. Most people think about killing. Most people think about killing. I mean, let's be honest, right? There's a lot to want to kill about. There's a lot to want to kill about. And most people probably think about killing at some point, okay? But it's just amazing to me that the people who are at Comic-Con, you would think that they think about it a lot more. You would assume that most of those people think about killing others a lot more than some other people. Because they have jobs that they dislike. And the only time that they feel good is when they're doing one of these stupid fucking events. Or when the new season of whatever show they like comes on. And these people, I mean, they go all out. I saw a girl with wings on. She couldn't walk through the doorway. I mean, the wings had to be 15 feet long across her back. Maybe less. 10. I'd say 10 feet. Right? 10 feet long across her back. And everyone walking by her. That is awesome, man. Whoa. That is so cool. That's how they all talk. That's cool, man. No, that's cool. You see that? Did you see her? That's cool. Wow. Gee. That's what they all say. That's people walking by. People got, they go, I mean, some motherfuckers go all out. But then you got the guys who just, they wear whatever they got. They had a costume from years ago. They put it on, and they do that too. But Comic-Con, it's to me, for a guy who doesn't care much about superheroes, doesn't care about anime, very rarely cares about cartoons in any capacity. I don't love fiction novels. I don't love movies about fucking space and Star Wars I could care less about. I don't care about superheroes. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. So when I see a Comic-Con, my blood starts boiling. My blood starts to fucking... I'm just thinking in my head, like, God, why the fuck are all these... But look how long that line is. You guys want to stand on line just to walk around dressed up as fucking Martians and Pegasuses and Pegasi. How about that? Pegasi and spiders and whatever the fuck. You guys want to walk around doing that. And what goes on? What do? You go to booths? Oh, my God, that's the guy from the 6th season of... Smallville. Remember that show on CW? My God, that's awesome. And then there's a panel of 6 guys talking. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm a walking contradiction, guys. If it makes you happy, go ahead and do it. If that's the thing that you fell in love with as a kid, go ahead and do it. But just know that there's an asshole sitting in his one room apartment who sleeps on a futon and is greatly disappointed with the direction his life has taken because of how how depraved everything is. I don't want to say unfulfilled because I do love doing comedy, but how depraved his situation is. But just know that there's a guy judging you and screaming into a microphone for about nobody, just about nobody to listen to. Which is, hey, you're getting some attention, right? You're getting attention from a very low-level podcast that very few people listen to. So kudos, you've done it. You have made it in this life. You have gotten fame. But it was absolutely mobbed at that casino, just full of people this whole past weekend, mainly because of that event. And I already hate working at Mohegan Sun. I dislike a lot of things, guys. I don't know if I've told you this, but I dislike a lot of things. I like to complain about a lot of things. And Mohegan Sun is one of the places that I enjoy complaining about because they have some of the worst people that exist walking around that place. The people I work with are cool. Very nice people I work with. But, some of them. Most of them. But the people that go there, the consumers of the product that is Mohegan Sun, are some of the worst people on the planet, guys. They're some of the worst people on the planet. I don't need to go into details. But it is driving me to find a new job. Find a new job, one that I don't mind relocating for. And, wherever I go, it'll be a place where comedy is prevalent, a place where... I can do my thing and still exist, make money. And I have a degree, like I talk about all the time, that nobody cares about. That's the thing. Nobody cares about it. I apply all day, every day, yada, yada, yada. Nobody wants it. And the only thing that I've ever done that gives me any kind of transferable skills is working in restaurants. Haha, the most miserable fucking place, the most miserable workplace that you can get behind. Unless you're a culinarian, right? Unless you're a chef or you're a person who has a passion for service. Restaurants are some of the most miserable places you can be. It's monotonous. You walk the same steps. You go to the same places. It's terrible. But to make ends meet, to do a living, I've always said that if you're trying to do some kind of creative endeavor or whatever and you got to pay the bills, a restaurant is a great way to do it. Great way to do it, especially front of house, because the shifts are short, you make good money, and you get the fuck out of there. And they don't take up a lot of your time, right? It doesn't take up too much of your time. So what I'm thinking of taking my service talents to a brand new restaurant called Trump Burger. Yes, this is the hottest spot in Belleville, Texas, which is in the Austin area, which, like I said, a lot of comedy, great place, gotta be a great place. And it's become a tourist attraction. An absolute hit with the locals, insider says. Let's see, I want to read a little bit to you. A Texas restaurant set up as a shrine to Donald Trump has become a hit with tourists and locals, its owner has claimed. Roland Beanie, a second-generation Lebanese-American and Trump supporter, told the Houston Chronicle he opened the restaurant in Belleville, Texas in 2020, a year after moving back to the U.S. after living in Lebanon for several years. Being an immigrant from a place where everything is bad and you work for almost $200, you see somebody like him to support the country and get the economy doing better. Me being an entrepreneur, I appreciate what he did, he told the newspaper. Now, I mean, does it get any better than that, guys? Does it get any better than a restaurant in the heartland of Texas, near the capital of Texas, right? When you think America, you think Texas. We're Texas. We're the Lone Star State. We can kill. We can eat. We can fuck. We can do whatever. And then now we got Joe Rogan. We got Elon Musk. We got it all. We're Texas. We're America. We're free. And then you got a place like this? Trump Burger? I mean, come on, guys. That is a GTA restaurant. That is a Grand Theft Auto restaurant. Trump Burger. I mean, listen, guys, they offered me a position. I can't turn it down. I don't think I can not take this job. Every meal comes with a ticket. It's a free voucher. It's a free voucher to go watch Donald Trump burn down forests. You get to and if you get the deluxe package, you get to go to the forest and start the fire. Isn't that fun? Well, I mean, you got to burn it down if you're going to put real estate there, right? You can't just leave trees if you're going to fucking. Are you guys dumb? Are you stupid? How are you going to have commercial real estate if there's trees everywhere? So you get to you get the Trump Burger and you get free refills on the soda and bottomless French fries, and you also get a voucher to go to a forest that's being ripped apart. The roots are being ground out of the fucking ground, and they are you'll be at the site of a new Trump-funded business development. I mean, guys, that's a hell of a promotion. People are flocking to this place. It's a tourist attraction, guys. It is a tourist. Didn't you hear me? It is a tourist attraction. Business Insider said it. People want to go see this place. People who love Trump, people who don't love Trump, they want to hang out. They want to see. They want to see what it's like, and they want to see what it's like to be a businessman, a hard-nosed, rigid businessman. One that doesn't care about life other than theirs. They don't care to take down, they don't care to take down forests. They don't care because they know that they're going to put something there that is going to pay them more money than people can conceptualize. And the people that go to a restaurant like this, they want that experience. They want to feel it. They want to feel it. It's just like when you were a kid. You remember when they'd have the giveaways? Hang out with Wiz Khalifa for an afternoon. Go on a cruise with Drake and Josh. Right? It's the same thing, guys. It's a promotion. But I want to look at the menu. I want to see what they got on the menu. Let's start up at the top. All right. We have the Trump Burger. So 8-ounce Angus beef topped with 2 slices of cheddar cheese, lettuce, tomato, onions, tomato again, and our Trump sauce. The Trump sauce. And it also comes with an insurrection of the Capitol building. It comes with that as well. That's in the fine print, though. Then you got the Trump Tower. Ooh, this one sounds good. A 16-ounce Angus beef, so double the beef. Topped with 4 slices of yellow and white American cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, onions, pickles, with our Trump and barbecue sauce. I mean, guys, that sounds pretty fucking good. And it's only $14. $13.99, guys. That's not bad. And you get to possibly win a raffle to go burn down a forest? I mean, come on. You get to go burn down a forest. And now this has a specific promotion. So this is the Mushroom Swiss Burger, 8 ounces Angus beef, topped with grilled mushrooms, grilled onions, pickles, lettuce, and mayo. And this one, you get a signed picture of Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, his lifeless carcass, signed by Trump. Guys, I mean, this is getting better and better and better. This is, I mean, why would people not go there? Now, this one's real. This one's actually real. I was obviously fucking around with those other things, but this one's actually on the menu. You guys can look this one up. The Biden Burger. It's $51. It's $50.99. It's a 1-ounce beef patty topped with tomato and lettuce, not fresh, it says, and our old buns, not available for cheating reasons. Now, this is a revolution, guys. This menu item is more of a revolution than that entire insurrection was, because so many people are going to they're going to flock to this place. They already are. They already are flocking to this place. It's a tourist destination. People are going to this place, and they are going to see that and repost that often. This is when the revolution comes and the history books write about what happens, they're going to look back at this restaurant and they're going to say the Biden Burger at Trump Burger was the catalyst to shift human consciousness into what it has become, whatever that is at that point in time. Whatever the revolution is, hopefully it comes out on the end after all the bloodshed and the murder. People understand, and whatever else, they reach a higher level of understanding. People will look at Trump Burger of Belleville, Texas as the mecca of enlightenment. And Roland, the owner, I mean, he will be forever, the human race will be forever indebted to that man for starting the greatest shift in consciousness that there ever was. Thank you, Roland. And thank you for offering me the job. I mean, I hope I can make it out there. I hope I can, make it happen and really, really push these Trump burgers out to people. Because like I said, guys, people, I mean, they want to feel it. They want to feel it. Another job I was considering was, this one's a little different. It's not in the realm that I'm used to. It's not the service industry. But it's something a little different, and and it's not anything that I would be opposed to doing. But there is a project going on in Brazil in a little place called the Amazon. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Not a place where you get your packages. More like a thriving ecosystem, or a once thriving ecosystem that's been getting mercilessly destroyed for whatever reason. They're considering, they're not actually considering, they're putting a highway that runs through the Amazon, okay? They're putting a highway that goes through one of the absolute wonders of the world. One of the biggest mysteries in the world is the Amazon. A lot of people don't know that. One of the biggest mysteries is the Amazon. And even when I spoke to Professor Sevilla, she spent time there, and she spent time with the indigenous people and the whole thing. And there's a lot that we don't know about the Amazon. But now we can have a road that we can drive on, a big paved highway that we can drive through, and fucking tourists from all over the world will flock, because now they don't need to get out of their cars and sweat and walk and walk around in the mugginess, and they might be they might be subject to getting bitten by a bug or something. They don't want to. People who don't want to hike, who wants to go out and see things? You don't want to see a waterfall. You want to drive past it in your nice air-conditioned automatic transmission vehicle. You want to drive past it. You want to say that you drove through the Amazon. There'll be bumper stickers. Like the ones that say, "This car climbed Mount Washington." They'll have that. but it'll say this car drove through the Amazon. It'll be great. And they need people to build the road. All right? They need people to build the highway. And, I mean, I wouldn't mind being in the ground level of a project like that. You know, I mean, one day they'll be, if they're lucky, they'll have some McDonald's on there, you know, on the interstate. They'll have a whole interstate system. Why not just destroy the entire Amazon? Just destroy the whole fucking thing. Take it all out and just put a whole highway system. Highway system, interstate, you know, and there'll be rest stops that you can get Subway and a neck pillow in the same fucking building. All you got to do is open a door. You go from the Shell gas station, you open a door, and there's a Subway. You can, you know, and they'll have that. Why not? Why not do that? I mean, look how well we did. And this is why Brazil is such a thriving country. A country that has rarely seen problems, and they have a lot of money. This is what it is. A lot of dinero in Brazil. People don't know that. People see the favela and the poverty, and they're like, I don't know how good it is over there. But Brazil, they got it figured out. And it's for things like this. You see, they're moving with the times, guys. I remember I spoke about this in an old episode. You got to change with the times. The times, they are a-changin', like Mr. Dillon said. The times, they are a-changin'. So while the times change, you either get left behind or you continue deforesting a magnificent landscape and put a highway system there to bring people in and keep your flourishing country exactly that, flourishing. So, I don't know. We're thinking, I mean, there's going to be a lot of, it's going to be tough to move to another country. I don't speak Portuguese. I'm Portuguese, but I don't speak Portuguese. It's going to be tough. You got to get a passport, you know. But, like I said, it would be an experience. It'd be different. Not a ton of comedy in Brazil. That's what I hear. That's what people tell me. But there's always but see, the thing is, in Brazil, there's a little more security. Because if the road thing doesn't work out, then I could just kill people for a living. I can go to favelas and I can kill people with pieces of broken glass. And I can take whatever they have and I won't get caught. You know, and that'll be fine. So it depends. It really does depend. And I'll keep you posted on which one I pick. Now, this last thing I wanted to talk about, guys, this is important, okay? This is important. Everybody needs a day, at least one day during the week, for most people it's Sunday, to reset. It's a day to relax, reset, and plan the rest of your week ahead. Everybody needs a day where it's leisure time, but it's also reflection and preparing. And for me, I've typically worked Sundays my whole life, for the most part. I very rarely have Sundays off. I don't remember. I may have had a job where I had Sundays off. I don't remember at all. But I remember I was recently on social media, and I saw something. I saw an article, and I got it right here. It says, how to do a better Sunday reset to start your week off. Now, you can fill in Sunday with whatever day, you know, because like I said, for me, it's not Sunday. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll tell you what theirs are, and I want to tell you guys what I do. And, you know, you do whichever one you like. You could do a mix, or you can make up one of your own. You know, I'm just here to give you guys a perspective on what can be done, you know. So the first one is pause and process. Just give yourself a second to understand where it is in this life, where you are in this life, and just experience what it is present, and then process what you went throughout the week. You know, process whatever problems you had, whatever good times you had. Just let it go through the brain. Next is prepare, right? You got to prepare. You got to be ready for the week. You set your calendar. You set your your journal, whatever the fuck it is, your planner, right? Plan, prepare, do whatever it is. You understand what it is that you have for the week. So there's two. Plan is the next one, oddly enough. I guess prepare and plan are two different things. I don't judge. Do whatever you want. Plan. That's number 3. Number 4, permission. This one says giving yourself permission to do what you need. What you need to can calm any anxiety you may have about certain tasks. This might be a day of sorting or organizing, of cleaning out the cupboards, right? Give yourself permission to do the stuff that you think you're like, I don't know. Every other day you're like, I have too much to do and I'm not sure. As much as I feel like I should do that, I can't. Today's the day to give yourself the permission to do that. Just get it done. Get it out of, and don't make it anything too strenuous. Right? And I think this is the last one. Press play. Do something active. Guys, you got to go out, do something active. Go for a walk, go for a bike ride, do something, whatever you want. Just get out there. Get out there. It's your day. Go for a walk, listen to an audiobook, right? Sit outside, smoke a cigarette, save it for that day. Do whatever it is, So those are theirs, right? That was 5 of them, right? We're going to go backwards now. What was it? It was press play, permission, plan, prepare, and pause and process. Pause and process was one, but whatever, right? 5 or 6 things that you can do on your day off that can help you reset. It can help you chill. Now, what I do, and typically not on Sundays, because again, I work Sundays. A lot of the times I put the podcast together on Sundays. It's Sunday right now as I'm speaking, and I'm putting the podcast together, and then I got to go do an open mic. So it's not like I have the day to, whatever. I've been working all day. I came here, did this, yada, 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 whatever. But what I do typically on Mondays, right? There's a few things that I do. First thing I do is I wake up. I like to wake up on my day off or my days off or the beginning to my week, or maybe not the beginning of my week. You guys get what I'm saying. My Sunday, whatever my Sunday is, I like to wake up without an alarm. Right? You wake up easily, and the first thing I do is get drugs in my system. The first thing I do is wake up without breaking my circadian rhythm, and I get drugs in my system. I get them going. I start smoking weed. I'm drinking coffee. I'm eating mushrooms. Whatever it is for you guys. Take a Percocet that you haven't taken in years. Remember that knee surgery you got? Take a Percocet and get that going. You wake up and you get stoned. First thing. Skip the water, skip, whatever it is, the stretching, the yoga. No. First thing you do, you wake up, you grab a handful of mushrooms, you choke them down, drink down a cup of coffee, and for some of you, hit that bottle early. Hit the bottle early. Just get the drinking going. Get it go. Whatever it is you like, get it going. Drink a whole bottle of whiskey before 10 a.m. That's what it is, right? So there's the first one, drugs in the system. The next thing that you want to do is go back to sleep, right? Lay down, go back to sleep, if you can, right? If whatever your drugs were, maybe you don't get to do that, right? If you're on some uppers, maybe you can't do that. And I understand. There's an alternative, right? If your drugs that morning were the ones that get you going, then you got to get in your car and get on the highway. ASAP. Get in your car, get on the highway. Get the jitters out. Get it all out of you. Go as fast as you can for as long as you can. That's similar to pause and play, But if you're doing it right, if you're doing the right things, then after the drugs, you lay down and you go back to sleep. And those are the two things I do, guys. Those are the two things that I do to reset better. Those are the two things that I do to, I know the list is a little shorter than the other one, but for me, waking up on my day off, getting drugs in my system, and going right back to sleep has proven to be successful. I mean, look where I am. Do you guys, now listen, you can take my word for it, or you can experiment and give it a go. I've always been a gambling man with life. I would give it a go. That's just me. That's just me. If you like the other list, then you can go ahead and do that. But for me, or if you want to mix them in, then that's fine. But for me, it's waking up slowly, drugs, back to sleep. The rest of your week is good to go. I mean, the rest of your week is after you do that, after you've binge done drugs, and then you say, but what about when you wake up? Get more drugs. Get more drugs in you. It's still the same day. More drugs in you. Go back to bed. Sunday fun day. Sunday fun day for a reason, guys. And with that, I will be leaving you all. Thank you for playing along on this Monday. Thanks for listening. You know, I just want to say thanks from the bottom of my heart for the 5 people that listen to this show on a consistent basis, or just in general, right? There's probably less than 5 people that listen to it on a consistent basis. But I want to thank you for fucking around with me, for just entertaining a motherfucker like me. You know, just giving me the time of day. It looks like I will be at Broadway Comedy Club at the end of the week. It does look like it, but my life is a never-ending series of unfortunate events. So, we'll see. We'll see if that's true. It looks like it might happen. I hope it does. And then again, end of the month, Portland, Maine Comedy Festival. And that's it, motherfuckers. Talk to you Thursday. Peace. I'm back to reiterate all the stuff that I said at the top of the show. Follow and subscribe. Bye-bye.